Hey everybody, how's it going? Quane here. We are back doing another TCC Extreme Challenge run. This time we're doing Desh, the Ancient Memories. And we have to use Mog Summon, which they finally threw that in there. Which they kind of had to in this case, especially with Wave 2. For those of you who haven't done it yet, the gimmick in Wave 2 is they have this magic stance that they put up that effectively cuts your ability to Brave gain. I believe it's only about 20% of what you can normally do. So any Brave batteries that you have won't be doing anything when they have that particular stance up. So the easiest way to take care of that is to summon one hit before Wave 1 dies. That way the bosses in Wave 2 don't get a chance, and then you either delete their turns, paralyze them, stun them, prevent them from putting that buff up is the easy way. Obviously with Mog being only one turn summon, there's no way possible to do that. So for this team I'm running Cater, Sherry, and Hope. I actually made Hope 1 out of 3 for this. Hope was 0 out of 3. I'm recording this commentary after the fact, but I did a couple runs on it. Had a few resets and wound up doing it in about 95-ish turns. And I know Hope's a good support, so I went ahead and threw one ingot in to get the added max brave and attack for the party just to make it a little bit easier on this run. I believe I only did one reset on Wave 2, and this one it was actually not that difficult with this team. Wave 1 isn't really that hard. We've all fought these guys before. Pretty much, you know, just keep them broke. Because if they're not broke, they can charge up to pretty high brave and get you hit you with a nasty HP attack. But other than that, Wave 1 isn't really that big of a deal. Idea with this team is HP damage mitigation. Because Wave 2, they've got a pretty nasty AoE HP attack that I tried using tanks. I tried using Zac. Everybody else still got one shot except for Zac. With Snow, because he has the 20% HP damage mitigation, it was enough for people to be able to survive. But then Snow himself couldn't really heal up fast enough, because normally you wind up taking a few hits in a row, especially if they're back-to-back. So the idea with this is Sherry for her battery, for healing, the extra 20% damage with her EX, and her nukes, obviously. Cater to counter and to taunt, because Wave 2, once they start to get towards the end of their health, they'll enrage and they'll charge up to like 40 or 50,000, and so Cater is there to ensure that they target her and then she can dodge it. Hope, Brave Battery, heals. You got the physical and magic Brave damage reduction, which also helps with the HP attacks not being quite as hard-hitting. And then you've also got his C65, which reduces the HP damage dealt by, I believe, 40%. So that's the idea behind this team. You could also use Leon. I know somebody used Leon, and he pretty much completely neuters the HP attacks on the second wave, at least the big one. They do have a few elemental-based attacks, but the one you need to really worry about is when they're in their physical stance and it's non-elemental. So Leon's a good one, which Leon actually is coming back pretty soon with his EX Plus. I believe that should be on Wednesday for the Heretic Song of Ice and Iron. Should be him getting his EX Plus. You got Arciela, which a lot of people already have her, but if you didn't get her, it's a good chance to get her. And then you got Vivi. I really don't know too much about Vivi's EX Plus, but I would say Leon and Arciela is probably the prize of that particular banner if you want to pull. I'm probably going to pull on it just because EXs have a higher drop rate now, so I would hope I'll be able to get his EX without it taking too much. But Leon's really good as a tank. If you don't know what he does, his EX makes it to where all the enemies' non-elemental attacks, whether it's physical or magic non-elemental, have a dark have a dark enchant. Essentially, you dark enchant them, but then he also puts up a buff that all your party members resist dark, will absorb dark. So essentially, they're brave battering you, and you have no chance whatsoever of being hurt. That's why Leon does so well in Wave 2, because it makes it to where their nasty HP attack hits you with 0. So Leon would be a good choice. I did Hope because Hope is the HP damage mitigation individual that I have access to. You could use Porum, because Porum has even better HP damage mitigation. Hope's is only on his C65. Yeah, the Brave damage, the physical reduction and the magic reduction from his buffs help as far as reducing the actual Brave hits, but nothing can compare to Porum. But I don't have Porum, unfortunately. But I will probably get her when she comes back on, I believe she's on the Bahamut banner with Kuja, I want to say. I could be wrong on that, but if I get her there, that'd be cool. So Wave 2, these guys, they put up the Magic State, which you know because of those floating balls around them is how you know they're in their Magic State. And so at this point, I'm not going to do anything that causes too much battery. If I need to charge Hope's EX up, I may use it. I may use a Hope skill. But Sherry, pretty much I'm not going to use any of her skill 2s. I'm sorry, not her skill 2, her skill 1, because it's going to waste the battery. I mean, if I get into a situation where I need to use it to charge the EX super fast, the Gravity and Brave Shave, I'll do that. But otherwise, essentially I'm going to wait for them to go in their physical state, go ahead and throw off one nuke with Sherry, wait for them to go back to Magic State, and then go back to physical again, and keep doing it that way. This is the generic idea. So you got Sherry with her extra 20% HP damage, which helps everyone. You got Cater countering, doing good damage. I also do have nearly perfect artifacts for Cater. I have 2 perfect, and one of them is nearly perfect. I run a 108 with the charge move. So essentially she has maximum skill uses, which is, you know, if you don't have perfect artifacts on your Cater, or don't at least have the additional skill uses, it might be more difficult, because she has a lot of skill uses with that. And her being able to taunt the targets, granted it's only for 1 turn, but she has a lot of uses of it, and it can really come in handy. So pretty much what I'm doing is, earlier on in the fight, when they're not overly dangerous, trying not to taunt too much with Cater unless I need to. I want to make sure I have enough at the end. So I believe there's a few times where I go ahead and not let myself take a break, or let them attack an individual and let them attack either Hope or Sherry, just to make sure that Cater has enough taunts at the end. And her skill 2 is really good because it's instant turn rate. So if your EX is pretty close to being up, you can spam it. Which I think I actually do that towards the end of the fight, is spam it, just to go ahead and pop the EX to shave them down enough to where I'm relatively safe. But I believe Cater has been used in every single one of these. Let me look at the list. Yeah, so far of the 4 people who've submitted it, mine will be the 5th. Everyone's used Cater. So, but the HP damage mitigation, I'm sure there's other people you could use besides Leon, or Hope, or Porum. I would imagine you could probably use Beatrix if you time it correctly. Let's see, you could probably use Edge, especially with Hope, being able to extend his buff. I mean, this team works out good because Cater, you know, the counters, that's free damage without taking a turn. Sherry does good damage and boosts everybody else's damage by 20%. And you've got Hope, who his skills don't take turns, and then his EX is 100% AoE. He's got a little bit of splash on his HP attack plus, but it's not heavily a single target heavy team I'm running. So you may run into a bit of an issue if you're trying to run a more single target person. So like Alphanod would be good, because Alphanod's just got a ton of AoE damage, and any AoE magic person's good. Charlotte is also really good with this one, just on the offset that they charge up really high and you don't have Cater who gets to go before them to taunt them. If Sherry's EX is ready, she can Gravity Brave Shade them down. So that's another reason why Sherry's really good for this. And you've essentially got double heals too. You've got Sherry's HP regain, you got Hope's heal with the EX, which isn't really that potent of a heal, but combined, they both should be pretty good. But we got some pretty good stuff coming up pretty soon. We got Mahina's Lost Chapter coming out on Sunday for those of us in the US. So you got Mahina's, all his gear on that banner, his LD. You've also got Rem and Sid accompanying it. And you've got Vaughn's Burst, if you didn't get Vaughn already. I didn't get Vaughn's Burst, I wasn't really going for the burst. I did pull on the Gabronth banner. Actually, I pulled on the other banner, the Waka Lock Lena banner, accidentally not realizing I was pulling on the wrong banner until I got Locke's EX on my 10th ticket, which was okay because I didn't have Locke. And then I switched to the other banner, and in under 100 tickets I managed to get Vaughn's LD. I also got a few Gabronth EXs along the way, so relatively happy with those pulls. Not going to spend any more, not really too concerned about Vaughn's BT. Probably not going to pull on Mahina, because I'm not really too interested. I probably will pull on the Leon Arciela Vivi banner though, just to get Leon. You know, add a clutch unit in there. If you take on a fight where it's non-elemental, you'd pretty much be the go-to guy right there. And then after Leon, we have the big boy everybody's been waiting on, the Prince, Noctis. So we got 2 banners with his LD, and then 4 banners that are going to have his burst weapon. Not sure what everybody else's plan is, but my goal is to hopefully get the LD using tickets, because the LD banners, neither one of them are that good for what I want personally. I mean, the one banner, the only unit who I would care about would be Paladin Cecil, because I don't really care about Fang, but I can get Paladin Cecil if I want, because I still actually have the most recent EX tokens, so I could get Paladin Cecil from there for free if I want. And I mean, the other banner has got Irvine, Fran, and Seven, which I'm not really too interested in anyone on that banner. So the idea, hopefully, is to get Noctis's LD with tickets on one of those banners, and then pull on the Bosch banner, probably just going right to diamonds to not even chance it, to go for Noctis's Burst and Vaughn's LD. Vaughn, why did I say Vaughn? Bosch. To get Noctis's Burst, and then Bosch's LD and EX, obviously, because I don't have that. Vaughn also actually is already on that banner, his EX, along with Sarah, both of whom I have, so I don't need those. And then the final banner for Noctis would be Nine's banner, which I might go for that, depending on how many resources I have to drop for Noctis in total. 9 seems pretty cool from what I've looked up his kit, like a tank, plus uses a trident. You know, you're badass if you use a trident. And Fujin's also on the banner. I didn't get Fujin first time she came around, but I see she's been used in a lot of these TCC challenges for the Imperil. I mean, I have Raijin, but, you know, Raijin is slow. I mean, he's a good unit, but it'd be good to have a little more variety as far as who I have for an Imperiler, an Enchanter, since, you know, Garnet is pretty much always banned, so I can't use her for these challenges. So it'd be good to have a little variety, have both Raijin and Fujin. Barrett's also on the banner. I've got Barrett's EX. I got it on one of the free pulls. Haven't touched it, still sitting there. Don't plan on touching it. And then after Noctis, we got Arden, which everybody else is also waiting on Arden. He's another one I definitely plan to use Diamonds and Pity if necessary. Hopefully it won't come to that. Still haven't figured out 100% which banner I'm going to pull on for his LD. His LD might actually only be on one banner. Actually, yeah, I think it is. I think his LD is only on one banner, which is with Maria and the Lisette. And then he got his... The next burst banner is with Renoa's LD, which Alphanod and Quane is also on that banner. Then you've got a banner with Kimari's LD. And then Yuna and Noel are on that banner as well. And then the final banner with Arden's Burst is going to be Edward, a new character with his EX and LD, obviously. And then Palom, and then Hope. So, probably go for the Edward banner. Not sure about Renoa. Alright, let's get back into this actual fight here. That way I'm not just blabbing about everything. Get back to the actual fight at hand. So they're getting down there. They're less than half. And there's an HP attack. Yeah, they can do an HP attack in the magic state. I don't believe it's that dangerous. Nowhere near as dangerous as when they're in the physical state. And this right here is a perfect example of why Cater is fantastic for this. If it was anyone's turn other than Cater, I would undoubtedly be dead. But because it's Cater, she can go ahead, pull the aggro, and not get hit. Her C65's up, so she's not going to get hit, even though she has a very high percentage of being missed. I believe it's like 90% with the summon board passes. But don't want to run any risk, especially when a single hit from either one of them would have killed me. If they weren't in the purple, I'd say yeah, she can take a hit because she can survive and heal up. But when they both have that nasty purple aura that if you know they hit you, you're dead, don't chance it. Pop off that EX, get some decent damage. Go ahead and get that trap put on them. So as soon as they do get to act and miss Cater, that trap will go off, do even more damage. Got that splash damage too, which is good. And there goes the very last nuke for Sherry. So here on out, it's just going to be Brave Battering and Hurl Staffing with her. Is everybody already done with the new chapter already? I started it. I did enough of it to unlock hard and did the chaos. Because you know, undoubtedly, they always have bosses that you need on the new Choco panel that are in the new content. So I figured there's no point in rushing it because I'm just going to have to go back and redo it. So, still got pretty much the entire chapter on hard left to do. I'll wait for the Choco panel to come out for that. Get a decent launch in there. That extra launch damage is always acceptable, always appreciative. Yeah, I might still purple Hope. I know Hope's fantastic. I definitely have the ingots. I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to everything. So I've got a ton of ingots. For this fight I just put the one ingot in, that way you get the additional max brave and attack stat for the entire party. I mean, like I said before, I did it with him being 0 out of 3 in like about 95 turns, but figured 1 ingot would make it easier. It definitely did, because I think I finished this in around, I think it was like the mid-80s. And I only had to reset wave 2 one time, so that 1 ingot obviously did make a difference. And yep. See, here's another perfectly great example of why Cater is fantastic. Another time when everybody would be dead otherwise, but have no fear, because they won't be able to touch Cater. Actually, I think here I spam to get the EX ready, because she has no C65s, so if one of them touch me, she's dead. So I believe I spam to get the EX ready, and the EX is able to shave them both down enough to where I'm at least under the killing threshold. Now, if both of them hit me, then she would still be dead. But I believe I put them both under the killing threshold to where as long as one of them misses me, I'd still be safe. I think they both missed me anyway, so that Cater evade is so good. So much better than like Shadow. Not to dish Shadow or anything. I mean, Shadow's a great unit. When I have him, he's purple. I definitely use him. Just Cater's evade is a little better, is all. No big deal. Shadow's still a fantastic unit though. He just wouldn't really work for this because he can't pull aggro. I mean, damage-wise, he could definitely shave them down. But in this case, you have to be able to pull aggro, especially like the cases you saw earlier, where they both charge up super high. You've only got one person who can go. That person must be Cater. And even though B's about to die, I just pop the C65 just in case. You never know. No harm. No point in risking it. It looks like we're about to finish off this guy as well, because you will not dodge this. And there's another TCC Extreme in the books. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter. Go ahead and check out the Crystal Chronicles as well. Do your own TCC challenge, and have a great day.